Remy and Papoose are one of Hit Bounce's one couples. They've gone through such a ton together, all while being in the public eye for such countless years. They gave off an impression of being a cheerful, solid, and strong couple, and we truly thought they were in it for the long stretch as of recently. Gracious, this will be chaotic, ain't it? Before we get into this blistering, stanking wreck, sit down, placed a few snacks in your grasp, simply take a risk and recline, and open a pack of eats from Rake Snacks. Come our web-based snack bar that has a variety of five-star munchies like hamburger and bacon jerky, harsh liquor rice belts, and spread toffee peanuts after a jail stretch at Rikers Island. Papoose chose to view rap in a serious way to make a superior life for himself. He recorded a mixtape and took it to HOT 97 radio broadcast, trying to get his music in the possession of the late DJ K. Kill, who might highlight new craftsmen during his radio time allotment following a little while of giving Clay the equivalent mixtape again and again. K. Kill at last played Pat's music on the radio and welcomed him to the studio. From that point, he turned into Pat's coach and placed him on mixtapes with huge craftsmen. This, in the end, prompted an offering battle with numerous names needing to sign him. Jiv Record concocted the most rewarding proposition, esteemed at $1.5 million. Papoose told Vlad Television he got an instant message from an unknown source who told him not to leave all necessary signatures. The insider let him know that he heard a man at the name expressing that, when Pat endorsed with Jiv and dropped his most memorable single, he would ensure Pat was started off the name. Clearly, the proprietor of the mark was exceptionally put resources into Papo's profession, and the workers of the mark were in their sentiments about it for reasons unknown. One way I or the other, Papoose disregarded the admonition and endorsed with Jive in 2006. Everybody would pay attention to Clay's public broadcast, including Remy Mama. Remy said she was unable to stand Papoose since her mixtapes were dependably #1 on the DJ's rundown up until Papoose knocked her down to #2. Papoose told MTV's Construct series that Casley let him know that there was somebody who needed to cause music with him. That lady went out to be Remy. Obviously, the DJ cautioned Papoose to that Remy was a cycle insane. And that is the very thing we call a warning. Okay, Papoose overlooked the warnings. Remy stood him up for their most memorable studio meeting, since she could have done without her outfit. Young lady, what the outfit have to do with recording music? She appeared for the subsequent meeting, and they quickly clicked and became companions in the wake of a tad. One thing prompted another, and they had their most memorable dates sitting in a vehicle and smoking some MJ parking area pie. That sound fun as hellfire. Sit tight until the end of the story. Young lady, during a night out in July 2007, Remy wound up at an eatery in Manhattan for certain companions and colleagues. As per the New York Times, as the night winded down, Remy blamed a lady named Makita Barnes Joseph of taking $3,000 from her handbag. As the pair battled over the handbag, a gun released, and the lady was shot twice in the midsection. Fortunately, the lady had the option to recuperate from her wounds. Concerning she was accused of an endeavor to end somebody's life, despite the fact that her legal counselor expressed it was a mishap. The case went to preliminary in 2008, and during that time, she and Pose got drawn in. She was ultimately viewed as blameworthy, and keeping in mind that anticipating condemning at Rikers Island, Pose visited her during his visit. Monitors became dubious when they saw Papoose had a little key in his control that they accepted he planned to pass to Remy so she could OP and her cuffs and make a run for it. Goodness damnation. No, Papoose called the claims a lot of BCs. The key was seized, and Papoose was requested to avoid the jail for the following a half year. That is what his butt get, despite the fact that he couldn't genuinely be with her for the present. He was on the while going to help her regardless of everything that he said to MTV. It's not in that frame of mind to leave someone when they're in a period of scarcity. Emergency really carries me nearer to them. Hold her down. Keep her psyche consistent. Is he a pisses? Young lady, that sound like a pisses to me. Faithful as hellfire to a few. This sounds like Papoose was most certainly more into her than she was into him. And maybe she just chose to go with Stream since he was there, and she realized she would require somebody to rest on during her jail stint. Well, ain't that frivolous as damnation. They intend to get hitched on a yacht yet. Rather, they needed to make game plans for a jail wedding after the appointed authority called her an incredibly furious young lady whose outrage is all the way wild. Remy was condemned to 8 years in jail and had to be isolated from her friends and family. including her child from a past relationship. The New York Times revealed that minutes after the sentence was forced HST in a corridor outside the court entryways, Papoose flew into an angry outburst, rushing and reviling at court officials stop oppose, then toppling a garbage bin close to the lifts. Papoose purportedly yelled at the gatekeepers, "Go on, secure me." Collectively of his companions encompassed him and diverted him from the town hall. "With this insane ass now, what benefit is it will accomplish for both of you all asses to be in there?" Remy was moved to the Bedford Slopes Remedial Office for Ladies to start her sentence soon after she showed up. They got hitched to give Papoose spousal privileges to visit Remy. While she was secured during the primary year of her sentence, Papoose visited her on each and Eve Rye meeting day, which was Monday through Friday and on rotating ends of the week. He didn't mind at all that the jail was 90 minutes drive from where he was residing in Brooklyn. Remy told Sister Toyster magazine that meeting hours were from 8:30 toward the beginning of the day until 3:30 in the early evening, and Papoose would drop shows and meetings to make sure he could remain with her the whole day. "Are you going to miss that cash?" However, in the wake of leaving the jail at 3:30, he would commute home and afterward call her once he got back around 5, and they would talk the entire night until it was the ideal opportunity for her to get back to her dozing quarters. "Okay, young lady, now up to this point I don't see nothing off about Papoose. That is a decent man, Savannah, ain't it?" Individuals told her that he would leave her, yet Papoose disproved them all. Remy said, "After that first little while I resembled okay. It's no requirement for me to stress any longer. He's certainly in it for the long run, and it's conspicuous the amount he cherishes me. I never need to scrutinize that yet. Do you love him? That is the issue, young lady. Goodness. Okay. I see what it's going now." Remy going to it up, ain't she? That's right. Papoose told Vlad Television that Remy had the option to have sexual arrangements, so he would need to go to the store, purchase a lot of food, get his 3 kids from past connections and Remy's child, and they would remain with her in the jail for 3 days, all at once, too bustling, running back. "I'm Remy, you ought to have been running behind a Jane and you didn't have no work. You got to have a J to be with me, hello? My miscreant." Go on. Remy told Hollywood Life Digital Broadcast that in the end she needed to tell Papoose not to visit her as much since she realized he expected to zero in on his vocation, so we should do a concise recap. Papoose dismissed his own vocation to run behind Rye's butt while she was secured, and she needed to advise him to get to venturing so he could go handle his commitments in the rest of the world. Was Papoose insane in adoration or only insane in the head? Or the two of them? What about the two of them? Gaze upward. Mutually dependent in the word reference People's image. Be there as soon as humanly possible like cheddar. What sort of man are you where you would prefer to drive out to a jail in no place and sit Indian style and play spades with your young lady while she in jail, rather than you as a man getting around here and getting some cash? Ladies loved lounge around and say, "I would cherish love to have a man like Papoose." No, you wouldn't, on the grounds that you'll betray him too, on the grounds that he's faltering, assuming a man at any point invest all of his energy in you, rather than him focusing on himself. You won't generally approve of the experience. Papoose delivered one single on Jive Records, and after that, his profession hit an unexpected stopping point. Everybody at the name would have rather not had a say in him. He had extreme lament or not focusing on the unknown instant message he got preceding marking his arrangement. He later let Vlad Television know that marking with Jive Records was the most horrendously terrible mix-up of his vocation, yet regardless of all that he had going on, he would not redirect his consideration from Remy. She told Angie Martinez, "He's an authority man. He held me down better compared to my closest companions that I grew up with and relatives." Remy was considerably more grateful when she saw how the spouses and sweethearts of her kindred detainees would quit making an appearance to visit them sooner or later. A jail clergyman talking with the New York Times said that 80% of hitched male detainees' relationships end inside their most memorable year in jail. With respect to female detainees, the rate is a lot nearer to 100%. All in all, men are far bound to leave their detained wives in the residue, yet Papoose was different. He's different. Yes, he's different, you know. That is a decent man. Savannah, in the wake of serving 6 years, Remy was delivered in 2014. And she and Papoose were prepared for affection. After secure yet reality hit her straight in the face, Remy told Dark Love series that she was stunned to figure out that Papoose had a propensity for leaving bowls of oat in the washroom. Well, that is dreadful as damnation fee matter in your ice pieces, and end garments would heap onto the lounge chair, and Papoose would cover them up with covers. Currently listen Remy you caught. And how it all. Now, the man came to see you when you was in jail each damn day bringing the children up and put them